What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here, and I am back from my Disney cruise. Somebody thought that I was on a Carnival cruise, which I've got nothing against Carnival. In fact, their stock is a really hot dividend stock right now. I think the yield's like over 5%. It's crazy, but I wanted to come clean about something today. See, a few days or maybe a couple weeks ago, I don't know, since I've been gone, I haven't really been following any kind of schedule. I've realized that I've been getting a few questions and emails and comments and messages and posts in Discord of a lot of y'all wondering, wait a minute, Kevin, how did you buy 4 properties, now coming on 5 properties, wait, 6 properties, in the span of 12 months with showing a loss on your 2018 taxes? Like, something's not adding up here. Kevin, we need an explanation. And well, first of all, I have to say, I appreciate the jade, because when I first started watching YouTube videos, I would watch a YouTube video and be like, that guy full of bull. Sure, he bought 6 properties in a span of 12 months. Sure. I bet the lost part is real and the other part's all BS. Like, I get it. Like, you know, maybe life just jades you. I don't know. But anyway, so I thought in this video today, I would explain exactly what I did over the last year, and how I made that happen with that loss I talked about. Okay, quick basic recap on that whole loss thing, because that doesn't really sound, that's not a pretty word you like hearing on YouTube. I wanted to be transparent and talk about this side hustle that I started. It was actually a construction company, and I grew it to like 12 employees way too fast. And I wanted to show how expensive having employees in California, of all places, is. But anyway, that startup lost me some money, and on my tax return, I showed a net loss for 2018, which, guess what that meant? That meant instead of paying the government taxes, which, remember, you should always pay your taxes, like, pay. It's important to pay your taxes. It's the right thing to do. But instead of me paying taxes in 2018, the government actually wrote me a check. Now, I know that sounds insane, and I'm gonna explain why that is, and then I'm also gonna explain how I was still able to qualify to get financing, and I'll talk a little bit about my income on my other businesses, so you know that I'm not crazy here. Which, I never wanna talk about politics, but I wonder if what I'm about to share is one of the reasons why Donald Trump doesn't share his tax returns. I just can't help but think this is not a very politically good video topic to make, but I'm doing it because I think y'all are into money and finance and making money and understanding how the world works, because we gotta have some more money. Yeah, that's fine with me, so I just figured, let's make a video about it and talk about it. So here we go. In the United States, in order to qualify for a home loan, you need to generally have 2 years of work history. Now, the cool thing about this is, if you went to college for, let's say, 4 years, or 2 years even in nursing, and then you got a job in nursing, or 4 years in coding, and then you got a job in computer engineering and coding, you, on day 1 of your job, can qualify that work history based on the income you have on day 1 when you get a job after you graduate, and boom, you qualify for a loan, which is really cool. But that's like the only exception of this whole like 2-year work history thing. Ordinarily, you need 2 years of tax returns to show that you've actually been making money to get a loan. Now, sometimes you can do something called a 1-year tax return and then 1 year year-to-date income, which usually works if you're like halfway through the 2nd year and you're like, well, look at all these profits I've been making, except it's not audited. And because it's not audited, the banks charge you more money for that kind of loan, and not all lenders do it. So 1 year tax return plus year-to-date, a little more expensive, harder to get, bottom line. College exception, cool, got it. Most generic way to buy real estate, though, is you have 2 years of income that you could show on tax returns. And the rule is, if your income is going up, they take the average of the 2 years. If your income is going down, they take the last year, that is the lower year. Notice how they're always punishing you. See, like if you made $50,000 one year and the next year you made $100,000, they'll only qualify you with $75,000 of income. Or worse, let's say you made 100 grand and then you made 50 grand, they only qualify you as if you made 50 grand. That sucks. Now in 2017, my corporate income was $564,000. But if I take $564,000 to the bottom line in 2017, and then in 2018 I show a loss, then ordinarily lenders are gonna do, guess what? They're gonna give you the big middle finger, because they're gonna go, yeah, you may have made a lot of money in 2017, but you didn't make money in 2018. And remember the rule, if your income's declining, we use the lower, and you know, it's kind of hard to get a loan when your income is 0 or negative. It doesn't work out. So what's the trick? How did I go through and buy what I did in the last 12 months? Which, by the way, here's just a quick snippet as to what I bought in the last 12 months. Okay, this is totally where I have to put on like my mask hat from The Mask and start doing some accounting.
You've got 17.5% in T-bills amortized over the fiscal year.
Okay, no, we'll make this super simple. So, all of these properties here are in Southern California, and in Southern California, like multifamily real estate is a hot potato. So in the last 12 months, I wasn't looking at multifamily. I mean, I looked at a lot of multifamily real estate, but look, when you look at 500 deals and you find 50 really good single family house deals, and you find like 0 or like 1 really good multifamily deal in my 30-minute rule, I ain't really chasing multifamily in Southern California, okay? It's priced way too high. Like it just doesn't, the numbers do not make sense. I literally have to put like 60% down to cash flow on some of these multifamily deals in California. It's nuts. It doesn't make sense. So I've been looking at the things that make money in this area, which happen to in this area be single family houses. Anyway, last year I bought a house for $450, that's worth $620. One for $660, that's worth $780. One for $465, that's worth $640. Another one for $660, that's worth $830. One for $450, that will be worth $650, being worked on right now. And one for $530, that will be worth $670, being worked on right now. So now, that was a lot of numbers. I'm just gonna total them here really quick. Once these renos are done, over the last 12 months, I will have bought $3.2 million worth of houses, and they will be worth approximately $4.2 million. That means literally in 12 months, out of thin air, I created about $1 million. Now, I had to put some money into these properties to fix them up. Some were gonna take a bit more than others, but I invested about an additional $260,000. So I really only made an extra net worth boost of somewhere around $740,000 by buying these properties. But dang it, you know what? That's a really good deal. And you have to ask yourself, wait, how did some now 28-year-old dude do that while showing a loss on their 2018 taxes when it's too early to even file the 2019 taxes to try to cover that loss? Yeah, well, welcome to America. Look, I'm serious, like, welcome to America. People always ask me, they're like, Kevin, why would I buy your course? Like, how could you possibly show me how to invest in real estate in a way that I haven't learned of before? And I hear or read those comments and I'm like, okay, dude, like, just did it 6 times in 12 months. If you just do it once every 3 or 4 years, you'll retire wealthy. And then people are like, well, Kevin, why don't you just put it out on YouTube then? And I'm like, I've tried that. Like yesterday, I put out a 30-minute introduction to multifamily real estate video, and a fraction of y'all watched it that usually watch my videos. And that's just like 4 lectures worth of content. My real estate investing course is like 350 lectures worth. Usually I recommend if people spend 15 minutes a day for 6 months, boom, they got a download of my brain. But anyway, how did I make this happen tax-wise? How the heck can you pull that off? Well, here you go. In a previous video that I made while I was sitting at a really cool 2-bedroom suite in the Animal Kingdom Resort in Florida, I talked about how I always like to open up S corporations for my businesses. So I have a real estate sales business where I help people buy and sell houses, invest in real estate. That is how I got started in real estate, and that is an S corporation. But when I created that construction company, that side hustle, I opened a completely separate corporation, not a subsidiary, nothing related to my main business. Because here's the thing, after 10 years, 80% of businesses fail. And that sucks. that just blows. Like, why would you open your own business with odds like that? And I realized I was going into the construction business, which was a low margin business to begin with. I just never realized how low margin the residential construction business is, unless you're willing to do like brand new spec homes, which wasn't my forte. I was doing kind of like handyman, kitchen remodels, bathroom remodels, and that's really tough to scale. Which explains why most contractors have like 2 or 3 employees and they never kind of scale beyond that. Harvard researched that and found the same conclusion as well. My only regret was not doing my Harvard research before I started that company. But then again, I went to UCLA and not Harvard. Dang it. Although I did apply to Harvard, I didn't get in. I figured if you were gonna apply for a reach school, like you may, oh man, I wish I would have just invested that $80 into like Apple stock at the time though for the application fee. But anyway, I opened a separate S corporation for the construction business. So all of the losses that construction business generated didn't impact the profits of my real estate business. So if my real estate business, just for example, makes $1 million a year, and the construction company loses $1 million per year, then that's gonna merge together. And on my personal tax return, I will have a tax return that says $0, which means I pay no taxes. If it's negative, like my tax return was in 2018, the government writes me a refund check, which is also kind of insane. But I guess it makes sense. If you make money, you pay. If you lose money, you get paid. Okay. Well, that's fine and all, but the problem is if you keep losing money at one company and you keep making money at another company and it all funnels down to your personal tax return, lenders will not qualify you. You can't have a money-losing business and a money-making business and tell a lender, well, will you still give me a loan? They're like, no, like you suck on one hand, okay, great. I wasn't good at construction or managing contracting employees while running a ton of other businesses. I get it, like I learned my lesson. But on the other hand, like I'm making a lot of money over here. But the bank doesn't care about that. They're looking at that average number, right? So why am I explaining all this? Like why does this all matter with the S corporations? Here's the trick. The trick is that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, basically, why am I even saying that? Loan guidelines are, why am I even saying that? See, this is what happens when you're a real estate broker and a lender. The trick is, bank rules say, if you have a loss, you don't qualify for a loan. The trick is, if you have multiple businesses, and one S corporation's making, let's say, that $1 million, and the other one is losing that $1 million, which means you have $0 coming to the bottom line, which means you can't qualify. If the money-losing corporation disappears and gets dissolved, that is legally closed and dissolved, then the lenders will actually ignore all of that loss because they don't foresee that loss continuing because the business is now closed. And all they're gonna do is turn a blind eye to all this dust and charade over here and just look and go, ooh, lots of income. You qualify. Boom. Welcome to Real Estate in America, folks. This is how you make money. You know the rules of the game and the tricks of the game. And if you could surround yourself with people who know even just a little bit more than you do, you could usually make a whole lot more money in life. And that's why you gotta check out those links below. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram. See ya.